Hey, I am live. It has been a long time. This is Dr. Randi B, MD, your board certified pediatrician and financial wellness expert, where I provide your RX to wealth and financial well being through my coaching programs, my speaking engagements, and my #1 best-selling book, Ladynomics, a woman's prescription for wealth and financial well being. Hi, everybody. Welcome to my new show, This Week in Finance with Dr. Randi. I've spent some time to kind of regroup, rethink things, and I'm excited to be back. I miss you guys. So I'm streaming on StreamYard, so I don't see a comment. So what I'll do is, just comment and I will definitely address them after the live. So I hope everybody's doing well. Hello to everyone who's joined me so far. So yes, I just want to talk about everything that's going on for in the past week, which has been a lot. And I'm going to start off, I guess, with the stock market because it dropped. The Dow Jones dropped about 800 points today. And for the past couple of weeks, it's been doing really well. From the time we had those big decreases back in March and April. And they don't know why. It has something to do with the S&P 500. There was some sort of sell-off with tech stocks, but they don't know why that happened. So, of course, that just flowed right into the Dow Jones. So we saw this drop. And, I don't really pay attention to it anymore because, I'm an investor, okay? I'm not a trader, I'm an investor. So usually when I buy stocks, I let it sit until, I decide that I want it, till I decide that I want to sell. But I really kind of sit on it. So I don't watch the market day by day, but then I saw people posting like, oh my God, I'm nervous. Should I get out? So I said, let me see what's going on. And then all my holdings was in red. I was like, oh my goodness. So, but again, I don't worry about it when it drops. There's two ways you can look at it. You can freak out and say, oh, I got to get out. Or you can have a different perspective. You can say, hey, this is a time to buy some stocks that I really want. It's bargain time. It's sale. So there's definitely two ways to think about that. And this leads me into my next segment. This week, we had some significant stock splits. Apple split 4-1. Tesla stock split 5-1. Talk about creating a buzz, okay? My whole timeline, my news feed was full of everybody talking about, that whether they bought stocks and, hey, did you guys buy Tesla and Apple today? So yeah, I didn't own Apple before. I didn't own Tesla because Tesla was very expensive. One stock was, I think, because it split 5-1. So on Monday, they were selling for about $400 a share. So that means it was selling for, on Friday or Thursday, it was selling for almost $2,000 a share. I can't see your name, so I apologize, but someone just posted, is it too late to buy? No, you can always buy stock. And as a matter of fact, today would be a good day. If you're interested, like in Tesla, like in Apple, today might be a great day because Tesla, when I last checked, I guess I could check right now, Tesla was selling for $390 a share. So that is a bargain. Let me see what it's selling at now. So yeah, everything is down. Everything is down. But, like I said, if you're a trader, traders are people who go in and out. They buy, sell, buy, sell. If you're an investor, you're kind of looking at the long haul. So, technically these little, so Tesla now is selling at $380 a share. After the split, it was $425. So, this is for informational purposes only. I'm not making any recommendations, but if this is something you want, Apple, when it split on Monday, morning, it was selling at like $500 a share. The split price, it went down to about 125 because 500 divided by 4, it was 125 or something like that. Yeah, 125. So now Apple is selling at 117. So initially the prices went up after the split, and then, for whatever happened today, everything is down. So it is what it is. That's the market. Over time, if you play the market and you stay in it, usually over time, and this is historical data, you usually figure out, well, if you owned Amazon stock, I think if you own like Amazon stock, if you bought it like in the 80s for say $1,000 worth of stock, now it would be worth like $80,000-$90,000. I have to check that, but I know it's some number that's ridiculous. It's like, oh my God, once $1,000, that's it. You didn't have to put any more money in. It would just grow like that. So so that's what it's done. And the reason why a company will split their stock is because, sometimes if they feel that the stock price is too much money, like Tesla, $2,000 for one stock. Amazon is probably up there too. If they want to make it more affordable for investors, they usually split it so that, it makes it more affordable. I was doing some reading, and, a lot of the things that I read that, said that stock splits it's not such a big deal as they were in the past, because you can buy fractional shares now. There are some platforms where you can buy a piece of a share. So like say, before the split for Tesla, when it was selling at $2,000, there are some platforms where you could buy like 10% of a stock. So before the split, when Tesla was selling for $2,000, say you wanted to buy 10% of a Tesla stock, share, right? It would have cost you $200, but you would only have 10% of one share. So, that's become popular. So stock splits, now there's ways to own or be to own a share or own, shares in a company without having to, there's various ways now. So that's the great thing. But I got in beforehand. So, I'm just going to watch it and see. So, so that's that, that was the, that's the stuff that happened this week in the market. Now, some other stuff, we're still in pandemic. We're still coronavirus. I'm a pediatrician. I've worked through the entire time since March, and we are still, thank God I'm in New York now. New York is doing very, very well. Our positivity rates is less than 1%. You remember New York was at the epicenter of the virus back in March, April. And now, since I think for the past 26, 27 days, our numbers have been significantly low, which is fantastic. Okay, fantastic. I feel safe. I mean, I had no choice. I was working. I was taking the subway, Long Island Railroad, all that kind of stuff. Didn't matter. But now with more people commuting and going into the city, I feel safer because, most New Yorkers here wear their masks. We can't really social distance as much because, we're a very dense city, but the city's not as packed as it used to be. So that's great. But and rest of the country, though, there are these surges. So we're still in pandemic. We're still in a pandemic. We lost 186,000 individuals to Corona. So, my thoughts and prayers for, with the families of those who died. But back in March, we had the CARES Act. Remember the CARES Act, the Corona Act, where, individuals, like single individuals, single head of household, married couples, up to a certain income limit. I think it was $75,000 to $99,000 for singles, $150 to $199 for married couples. You got the stimulus check, this money that just popped up in your bank account. And in addition to that, there was some extra money for unemployment, the $600 a week of unemployment benefits from the federal government on top of what you received from the state. So that helped a lot of people out. And it didn't matter if you were a part-time employee. I know people, some of my friends' kids who were working part-time, during the college, during the semester, they were able to collect monies on that. But that federal unemployment benefit, the $600 on top of the state, that ended July 30th. So today's September 3rd. And there's been no extension of that. I mean, there was some executive order that allows states, there was some federal, like a federal benefit of $300 or so, but I think it's not working that well because not every state has applied or qualifies for it. So, and I mean, in any case, there are people who are really struggling right now. There's individuals who are really struggling. And, everything's kind of in limbo. The Senate is on vacation. And so they're working through that. So hopefully, keeping my fingers crossed, hopefully something will pass in the next couple of weeks because, it's rough. At least you still have your state benefits. But I think the max here in New York is $500 a week, $504. I'm not sure what it is in other states, but $504 if you qualify for that is $2,000 a month. But in New York City, that doesn't really cut it. But that segues into one of the main issues is rent, evictions. A lot of people are facing evictions from their apartment, maybe mortgage problems. Having issues paying their mortgage. The government, I think the CDC, somehow or another has placed a moratorium on unemployment until March 2021. I don't think that's the federal. I don't think that's the federal. I think that's the state. The state hasn't extended, but the federal piece has stopped as of July 30th, except for this other piece that's kind of wary, the $300 a week. But the state, Michelle, are you talking about the state unemployment? You can type it in because I see your comment for some reason. State, right, yeah. That's the state unemployment. Okay, good. Yeah, that's the state. The federal piece has stopped. So anyway, people, individuals are having a hard time with that. But the CDC issued some sort of moratorium or some stoppage that, individuals cannot be forced out of their apartments. There's no evictions until the end of the year, I believe. But the most important thing is that even though it kind of stays evictions or you put them on hold, you still, on January 1st, unless something changes, like through this new CARES Act, January 1st, you're going to be due. If you're behind, landlords can come after you and ask for their rent. So there's still a lot of stuff that's in limbo. Another thing that came through that's effective September 1st was the payroll tax, the Social Security withholdings for individuals who make less than $104,000. Another executive order, which is also kind of tricky because according to the IRS, if that money is not withheld from your paycheck, okay, so you're gonna, if you make less than $104,000, you should see some extra money unless your company opts out of this. But if you do see the increase in your paycheck due to Social Security not being withheld, which is I think it's like 3.7%. plus the Medicare piece, which is another 1%, you're still going to have to pay that money. The IRS saying it's a deferment. It's not forgiven. It's a deferment, meaning that yes, you don't pay it now, but you're going to owe that money in April. So please, if you see the extra money, save it, put it up. Do not spend it. That is not money to be spent, because the last thing you want is to have a big bill in April, or a reduction of a refund. If you're used to seeing a certain amount each year, you'll see a reduction of that. So definitely do not spend that money. It's not to be spent. It's not for Christmas. It's not for Christmas gifts. It's not for a new bag. It's not for shoes. It's not to buy a new car. You put that money up because you may have a rude awakening in April. Okay, so definitely, if you see that, I don't know if all companies there, I've heard that there's some companies who are like, no, I'm not going to do this, a nightmare, because if it's either the company will owe that money and they're not going to pay it. They're going to pass that cost on to you. If they don't pay it, you're going to pay it. Somebody's going to pay it. And I will not bet on my your company on paying that. So definitely keep that in mind. So yeah, I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff for the week. Okay. So, yeah, so I'm going to be doing this weekly. I'm going to be paying attention to the news and seeing how things affect you and your family, because we are still in some treacherous time. But I do want to say one thing I have noticed in the past couple of weeks since the pandemic. People are making a killing on internet business. Internet-based businesses are making a killing, okay? If you sell a t-shirt, if you sell, I don't know, something, people are making money. So keep that in mind, okay? If you have something that you can sell, do it. Absolutely do it. It's kind of amazing, some of the stories that every day I'm thinking about, what can I sell? What can I sell? Besides what I already, sell. But so keep that in mind. There's always ways to make money. And, if you are in the position where, your rent, you're still out of work, but, unemployment is holding you down a bit. You don't have to worry about your rent right now. Start thinking about plans. Start thinking about what you're going to do. I've talked about this millions of times already. Cutting expenses, bare budget, expenses, holding off on big purchases, or, if you own a home and you want to do, like home improvement, that's something you may want to hold off for a while if your job seems a little shaky. But start thinking about plans. If January come and there's no improvement on the renter, like the eviction situation, what's an option for you? Do you have to move in with someone? Do you have to get a roommate? These are the things, these are the things you want to start thinking about. Start thinking about options, how you can pivot, where you can get some help. Go to government agencies. There's a lot of, programs. I've spoken about this before. If you need help with the electricity, if you need help with your utilities, contact the social services programs in your county and see what they may have available to you. I almost forgot student loans. From the CARES Act, student loans were deferred. Yeah, deferred, right? They were deferred until September 30th. So no student loan payments were required, and no interest was accrued, meaning there was no interest being tabulated on your outstanding balance. Your interest rate from April 1st to September 30th was 0. That has been extended an additional 3 months. So that benefit is going to last until December 30th, which is great. So this is the time. If you're paying loans, And if your emergency fund isn't up to par, this is a great time to build up your emergency fund. Okay, this is a great time to do it. Use that money because right now, yes, you could pay down your balance, which is great. But if you feel like things are kind of precarious and you're not sure where things are going to go in the next couple of months, this is a time you want to try and preserve as much cash as you can, because the winter months is coming. We don't know how this virus is going to spread. We're getting into flu season, and we just don't know. A lot of businesses that were able to survive, like the restaurants, and do business outside, which was beautiful in New York to see the outdoor restaurants. It was gorgeous. But in certain places like New York, the Northeast, they cannot have, you probably can't do outdoor dining. So start planning, start thinking about what you're going to do. Now is the time to do it while you have some leeway, some time. Okay. So I am Dr. Randi B., board certified pediatrician and financial wellness expert, where I provide your RX to wealth and financial well-being. Thank you for joining me for This Week in Finance with Dr. Randi. Make sure you follow me on all social media, and make sure you follow me and watch my show every Thursday at 8 p.m. where I talk about everything that's happening in finance that'll affect you and your family. Take care. Have a beautiful weekend. Happy Labor Day. Bye, weekend. Bye.